Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on where you're watching us from, you are welcome back to PMS channel. The FCT Minister, Yeson Wike, has come out to dismiss the news that was trending. That should be throughout last week or early this week that he collapsed. Yeson Wike, who came out today to dismiss that rumor and say that it was as a result of the people trying to divert attention. Yesomike went as far as saying that those who wish him dead, that he will be alive to come and sign their condolence register. Remember, the rumor was everywhere that the FCT minister collapsed. Let's hear the FCT minister.
I don't want to give credence to people who are only interested in carrying rumor. First of all, the human being, it is not a ghost that will collapse. It's a human being that will collapse if there's any problem with their health. Unfortunately, I did not collapse. I didn't show any sign that I have any health problem. Let me tell you what happened. What happened was that you see that the former head of service of Rivers State government came out to let the public know what was going on. We had a plan to bomb the House of Assembly complex and had a plan to attack national assets. In order to divert attention from people not focusing on that, they have to bring one rumor that they have been flown overseas. There was not a time I collapsed, there was not a time anybody took me to that. But you see me every day. The day Mr. President broke Iftar during his birthday, I was there. The next day, I led Abuja residents to pay Salah homage. I see all those stories just die down. This is the politics. We have thick skin. Those who don't bother us. We are not distracted. We are focused on our jobs. So I thank Nigerians for being, for really worried that this should be, but people should not wish their fellow human beings such a thing to happen. We know that we will die one day. Nobody will remain in this world forever. But it's only God that says the day you will die, not any human being to say you will die today or you will die tomorrow. So nobody has said, you have seen that. I'm very happy that most of them will. I will write their condolence letter. I can assure you that I will write their condolence letters. So there's nothing like that.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, what is happening in Lagos State? What is really happening in Lagos State? We saw the chaos as a result of the bridge that was blocked. And the people are really frustrated in Lagos State. Hear the governor of Lagos State and also hear what the minister of works in the person of the former governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Omai, have to say about this.
It was something similar that we have had during COVID, where you can have restricted movement in some part of the area for just a couple of weeks and be able to plan your journey time and be able to see what are the alternatives you can bring about, ensure that you can communicate, you can do work from home, work remotely, just to ease the traffic and just to ease all of us coming out. If you don't need to come out at 7 o'clock, wait till 10 o'clock. Let the people that need to come out at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, let them come out. You defer your time 2-3 hours, so they can see that even the approach from Marina to Victoria Island is free. There's no, on the counter on this bridge, there's no movement at all. We're also thinking of another alternative. Can we do a counter flow from here? We're looking at that, but it also needs a lot of excavation. We are going to break a lot of things, and we don't know if that also will be fully effective, but we will consider that in the next 1 or 2 days and see the effect of a counter flow, using all of the traffic information that we currently have. So one of the things that I want to assure is that you are going to see a lot of last mile officers on the road. You are going to see a double number of last mile officers on the road. We're calling them from other parts of the city so that they're here. And like what we did in November, December, they worked very late, at night. Yesterday, I think because it was heavy rain around 11, 12 o'clock. That's why they were off the road. But we'll ensure that, since some of the rains are back, also that they can walk till very late into the early hours of the morning, and ensure that, people get home, go home safely, and to also appeal to our citizens that it's not the time for you now to start driving recklessly, to start driving against, traffic direction in one way. And these are some of the literally two things that patients, could help us solve, and so while we take the responsibility that, fine, this has happened, we needed to do this, our citizens also have a responsibility to ensure that they plan and they obey, traffic management, and all of the signs and signals that we have. We're about, yesterday's past is really how do we ensure that it doesn't happen today, next tomorrow, and next one. And that's why I'm out here in the morning to come and see things for myself and to explain, take responsibility, apologize, but let us now be able to move forward. This was intended to solve a disaster that will happen at some point. Like I said, they've had this contract for over 3 years. We've been managing the bridge underneath the water. They've had it for a long time. But like I said, there is never a best time to solve a difficult problem like this. Anytime you do it, it will be discomfort. But let's bite the bullet. Let's work together as a citizen, and we'll all come out, this better. Yes.
The Honourable Minister of Works put out a message last this morning saying that the bridge should be opened immediately, and that almost caused some confusion across Lagos, because on getting here, like we can clearly see, that's almost impossible. So how do we reconcile that?
I mean, with all due respect to my brother, my friend, the Honourable Minister, we are the ones on ground right here, and you can see for yourself. It's not about name mention or blame game or anything. We are in the same government, and we know that the intendment are good intentions. Like I keep saying, it is because there is a disaster for over 3 years. If you have a contract for over 3 years and you've not been able to fully implement the thing, if anything happens, you will be one of the people that will say that, why did you not take this difficult decision? Everybody wants a bridge. Nobody wants it in front of his house. That's always a but. If you take a decision that we need to build a bridge, we have to build the bridge, irrespective of if it's in front of your house. That's the solution. You come in here, you're seeing that they've started in the past 2-3 days. They've done a lot of excavation. In fact, we're looking at water right underneath. So even for them to attempt to want to bring that back, it will take 2 weeks. So you cannot, the bridge is not a place where you just put sand and people will roll and just, no. What if it caves in again? What if cars now go right into the water? So like I said, we are the ones on the ground. We will advise the minister, with all due respect, we'll advise him, we'll tell him what we've found out. As much as I, as the governor, want this bridge to be open last night, today, the reality on ground is that we need to get to fix this road, do this problem, solve this problem once and for all. Because I do not want to be held accountable for a disaster that might still happen, further down the line.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. The Lagos Minister of Works Engineers, the contractors, they built well, and the gentlemen of the press. I'm here as directed by Mr. President. Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he watched the agony that the negotiations went through yesterday for the reason of closing of this Independence Bridge for rehabilitation. I was very highly displeased, even though the subject matter, which is to rehabilitate the already collapsed return wall of the Independence Bridge, was very, very important. And so he has asked me to be in Lagos and to free the traffic and to get the work done. And that's why I'm here. Let me commend the governor of Lagos State, who was here earlier on, and he spoke to me, and the efforts of Lagos State government, in redirecting traffic that has eased the gridlock that we experienced yesterday. And so I've looked at the structural problems. I'm aware of it. We designed the rehabilitation. But unfortunately, when the bridge was to be closed, I was not informed. The controller did that on her own, and it's very unfortunate because for a bridge to be closed, especially in Lagos, as you know, it's been the tradition, I should be informed as the minister, and we should also have studied the implication of it, even though it's an emergency situation. We would have deployed emergency evaluation of the implication of closing the bridge. Was there any other thing we would have done? And then while we take time to do the proper work. And so I use the opportunity to warn all controllers and engineers all over the country. Never you close the roads or close any bridge without running it through the PAM Secretary, who will seek for the permission from the Honorable Minister of Works. And so there will be consequences, disciplinary action for this. And so let me apologize to Lagosians and to Mr. President for the trouble this closure caused.